A lot of progress has been made. Shut up, Vivica Fox. I'm about tired of seeing your twisted up mouth everywhere. Every time you come on camera, your face is twisted up. We get it. You're a smart, sassy, strong black woman. Do you have another gear? Do you have another character? You've been playing the same character for the last 30 years. We get it. Damn.
Sheldon, little bootleg ass studio.
What's the motherfucking Kate deal, man? Welcome back to Sheldon's bootleg ass studio, where you come to kick it, vibe out, and shoot this shit with Sheldon. Say if you ain't subscribed to the channel by now, I'm gonna need you to go ahead, hit the subscribe button, hit that like button, and tap that notification bell as well. That way you are amongst those who are notified as soon as I release new content. Also, don't be shy, drop me something in the comment section. That way I can familiarize myself with you and recognize who you are as we are reacting to these videos. And I do try to respond to all of the comments that I see when I see them. Yo, Vivica A. Fox, if you have not heard, then you are being informed now. Vivica A. Fox is on the serving platter for the internet, all right? And rightfully so. Of course, she got a few minions that backs her rhetoric, but, you know, she's on the serving platter for the most part. And we finna jump up into that. I'm gonna play what Vivica A. and the Cocktails with Queens had to say about Kevin Samuels. Then I'm gonna play another video of why they are going so hard against Kevin Samuels, okay? So if you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. I'm light on my situation while y'all doing all that, man. Stuff a wet towel under the door. We about to get smoky. Let's jump off up into this content right now.
If you ain't fucking with my nigga Sheldon, nigga, fuck you. Yeah.
And I might have to freeze frame some of this, you know what I'm saying, for copyright purposes. This is for fair use. This is fair use.
Following the news of Kevin Samuels' death, Marlon Wayans posted this message on Instagram. Love him or hate him, he spoke his truth. We can view truth as hate, but sometimes his bold medicine didn't taste so sweet. And if you hated, why tune in? Why call in? Because healing comes in many forms. His was some nasty ass tasting medicine. He continued with, there's no right and wrong in this love, S-H-I-T. There's just discovery. And thank you for those you healed. And we forgive you if there are any damages because we know your intentions were to heal. Ladies, what are your thoughts on Marlon's post? And were you shocked when you heard about Kevin Samuels' death? Vivica, let's start with you because you seem to be having quite a reaction to this.
I mean, well, me and Lisa Ray both had the whole side eye, like, what the hell? Is he kidding me?
Why she have to out Lisa Ray like that? Let Lisa Ray speak for herself. She's trying to go ahead and get somebody that y'all already gonna be, you know what I'm saying, yapping together. So you don't have to do that. Just let her speak for herself. Damn. People want to invite other people over for they pity party. Goddamn.
Healing, healthy. This man was a hypocrite, in my honest opinion. He really was.
How so?
I didn't find anything about him to be healing. He insulted African-American women on a consistent basis. One of his last statements that he said was that if you're over 38 and you haven't married or something like that, that you're no good and disposable. To me, he was a shock jock. And, you know, I hope this is teaching folks a lesson about the karma that you put out, the negativity that you put out in the world, that when karma comes knocking at your door,
what happened?
She might not be so kind.
Oh.
So, you know, the fact that he killed over real quick and was supposedly with a woman that we don't yet know the nationality.
Look at her. She happy. Look at this.
He killed over real quick and was supposedly with a woman that we don't yet know the nationality.
That's like, Look at this.
Rest in peace.
Well, yes.
You talk about toxic femininity. Foo-wee. Y'all ain't ready for that conversation though. That's what y'all not ready for. That's why Kevin Samuels was hated so much. See, we get to hear all this hoopla about male toxic masculinity and shit like that. We hear that shit all the time. You do not hear men crying about it. because men are men. That's what we gonna do. Continue to be men. The ones that are men will continue to be men.
Oh, Lisa Ray, we got to go to you next. I want to hear what you got to say about this one.
You know what? I will say this. I like Marlon's response a little bit, half of it, because it was very grown up. And it was very in the middle-ish because he wanted to pay homage to him. And at the same time, giving him an excuse and an out to be able to say, well, maybe his truth helped some people. It was a little brand.
Nobody was trying to give him an out. Nobody's trying to give him an out. He was speaking his truth. Marlon was speaking his truth, his viewpoints. I'm so sure that if Marlon had some type of negative or criticism towards Kevin, he would have said it, because he did. He said that his medicine was not, it wasn't so good, basically, in so many words. You know what I mean? Shit.
But hey, that was his way. We do know for sure and certain that social media made him this breakout, social instant.
Social media made him, but movie media made you. What's the difference? I'm just trying to figure out what's the difference, other than he owns majority of his content, if not all of it.
Instagram famous person, you know what I mean? But I agree with Vivica. I think that sometimes when you are trying to help, it got to come in a kind of way, because
that's what's wrong with y'all right now. It's not gonna always be kind. It has to come from a loving place. And that's what y'all fail to realize. I grew up in a household with two parents, a man and a woman, my biological father and my biological mother. I know what love is like. I know what discipline is like. I know what affection is like. I get this, and I install all of this into my children. I discipline my girls, and I don't even have to whoop them. I can look at them a certain way. I can raise my voice I can say something in a certain tone, and they know I mean business. And guess what? They don't think that I dislike them or hate them for it. This is what you call tough love. And I'm guessing some of y'all didn't get this. Most of y'all got y'all ass kissed because y'all are women in Hollywood. Lisa Ray, Vivica A. Fox. These are names that most men drooled over in the 90s. I was a little kid, and I had such a big crush on Vivica A. Fox. I wasn't supposed to be watching the booty call and shit, but I watched it, fell in love with her because she's a beautiful woman. But when she get to opening up that mouth and spewing out this entitled behavior, I can't rock with it. I can't.
We're your kind. We are your type.
Also, going back to what you say, it comes from a loving place. Your grandma, your mama, if you had a daddy, most people didn't have their daddy growing up. If you had somebody who was in your corner that really rocked with you, your family member, somebody that was in authority figure to you, they wasn't always nice to you about it when they told you some shit. I'm sure you may have got a whooping or disciplined or grounded some kind of way. And this, when they told it to you, they probably didn't say it in the nicest tone, because they want it to get through your thick head. You see what I'm saying? Kevin Samuels was trying to get it through some of these thick-headed women that listen, baby. It's cool to want a man to have all that 6 figures. It's cool to want to have a man in the top 5%. But it's going to require you to work for that. You got to go out there and compete for that, sweetheart. Do you have what it takes to do that? Because right now, how many kids do you have? How many baby daddies do you have? What's your dress size? They call him asking him for advice, and he's giving them good, solid advice so they can go out there and use it. Listen, if you are too small, go out there and try to beef it up so you can get the man that you want. If you're too big, go out there and try to slim it down so you can get the man that you want. It's not going to come in your hands. That's why you are in the position you are at right now in no relationship, because you've been waiting or dealing with the wrong men forever. But anyway, back to what I was saying. Your grandma done told you some shit you didn't like, but you knew it came from a loving place. Boom.
we're Black. You know what I mean? And we are family. You know what I mean? So when you talk to us, because we as a race have been through so much, and you know, it's almost like talking to us like this does not help us.
I can agree. Talking to you like this does not help you. What I don't agree with is,
and we are family. You know what I mean? So when you talk to us, because we as a race have been through so much, and you know, it's almost like talking to us like this does not.
I don't agree with, you know, we've been through so much. Yeah, we've been through so much, but what happened to telling it like it is? When did we become so damn sensitive? Why do we gotta be so politically correct about shit? Fuck it, I'ma tell you the truth. That's what Kevin Samuels did. Listen, mama, if you want this, what you doing and what you been doing, it ain't gonna cut it. You need to get up off your ass, go. You gotta go out there in that field and find it and work for it. And if you out there in that field and you see all these women around here who all of these men are attracted to, but you don't see no men attracted to you for whatever reason, or you just getting a hit and quit, and you can't get the man that you want to stick around, at some point you gotta look at yourself and figure out, hey, what it is that I don't have, that these other women have, that makes these men go after them so much. The married women. I ain't talking about the street hookers. I ain't talking about the twerkers and all of this type of stuff. We're talking about relationships. We're talking about marriage. All right? So all that other sidebar conversation that y'all want to say about the hood rats and the Pookies and Ray Rays and the Bonquishas and all that other, we ain't talking about that. We talking about real relationships. So all that childish conversations that some of y'all may be having in your head, y'all can go elsewhere with that. You know what I'm saying?
Help us even listen and hear you. I didn't really follow him, and I didn't really watch him a lot.
And that's why you don't know nothing about him, or nothing about what his goal was or what he was trying to accomplish.
Because when I did sometime, I liked the way he looked, you know what I mean? But then when I turned the volume up, I kept turning it down, you know what I mean?
Because you ain't trying to hear shit. And if it's not what a woman want to hear, if it's not wrapped up in the bow with chocolate on top of it and smelling sweet, woman ain't trying to hear that shit on them. We got some real women out there, so I ain't disparaging my women. I love my Black women. This is what you call tough love. So if you weak, if you ain't come from the era that I came from where tough love existed, then I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. You're gonna have to toughen up, because it's a stiff world out there that ain't gonna be forgiving. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm gonna tell it to you like it is over here on this channel. This is what it is. That's what Kevin Samuels did, and people dislike it. You know what I'm saying?
He just looked debonair, and he looked like, you know, oh, okay, let me listen to the brother. But once I did not like all of the commentary that he had to say. Mm-hmm. So absolutely, rest in peace. You know, it was sudden. We didn't expect it, and I don't wish this on anyone, and my condolences to his family.
All right, good points. Good points, Lisa Ray. And Selena, gotta hear from you. What you think?
Okay, so first of all, rest in peace, Kevin Samuels. I don't want to speak negatively on the deceased, but let's just be honest.
Well, don't
Kevin
do it
Samuels
then.
Consistently shook the table. Okay. And I feel like the word healing is the fool in a way, because I think I'm just rest in peace. But that's the fool.
They couldn't wait for somebody to start trying to throw jabs, so it could be the weight could be lifted off of them, and they can kind of throw their jabs in too.
Say healing is the fool. I think
I don't know what she's talking about. The fool.
His words were more traumatizing.
Traumatizing.
As opposed to healing. I don't think that anything that he said invoked healing.
Okay.
Now, maybe opened up some eyes, enlightened. Yes. Again, shook the table.
Enlighten me, please. What is the difference in healing and enlightening as far as the mind goes? We're not talking about a terminal illness, all right? We're talking about mental illness. If he shook the table, if he invoked conversations, if he enlightened you, wouldn't that be some sort of healing? Because that would be the beginning process, because if he opened your eyes. See, this is why you gotta pay attention to what people say, because sometimes they walk around in their own shit and they don't know what they talking about, because they really trying to make it seem like they don't want to come from a bad place, but in reality they are coming from a bad place because they are just sour and rotten from within. You gotta pay attention to people. She immediately started off saying she don't want to disparage the dead, talk ill of the dead, whatever she said. I'm paraphrasing. Then she goes on to say that this man he had no healing in his rhetoric into black women. No healing. He may have opened eyes. He may have shook the table. He may have enlightened you. Once that light bulb come on, that would be enlightened. And y'all might hear that train. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why that train is so loud like it is. It's way far back. Anyway, back to this. Once that light bulb come on, ain't that what enlightened is? And then enlightened you to do something that you wasn't doing before, and now you can start the process of healing. I don't get it. I don't get the logic.
Yes, started.
They want to disagree so bad.
Yes, but healing, I would not use that word. And I think I have to agree with Lisa Ray on this too, because I think that, maybe Marlon was just trying to, find some light in this dark tunnel. But
don't say what Marlon May was trying to do. Marlon did what he did. He did exactly what he wanted to do. He made a post about Kevin Samuels and he uplifted him. That's what he did.
It's unfortunate how he passed. I hate that he did.
No, you don't.
Even though I did not like the things that he said at all. And in my Lisa Ray voice, at all.
Mm-hmm.
I do.
Why y'all trying to be funny? Yeah, look at her. Throwing her neck, talking about something. That's how y'all is. Like, we got to leave that sister girl attitude out of there. You know what I'm saying? When you trying to be someone's wife, this is when you trying to be somebody's wife. I ain't talking about you know what I'm saying? You out in the streets, you doing what you do. Do what you do. But you expecting a man to wife you. Me personally, and I ain't the best. I ain't got it going on all the way. But I know where my peace lies. And it's not with somebody with a neck rolling, finger snapping, sister girl attitude having ass woman. No. My baby know what's going down. You know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. We ain't having no, you know what I'm saying? And that shit gonna get checked if you dealing with somebody like me. But see, that's what they don't like. Kevin Samuels told them the truth. He gave their ass a rude awakening and let them know, hey, you over 50, you ain't shit. You over 50 and you ain't married. Vivica A. Fox is for the streets. This woman had previously got out of a relationship with somebody and then went on Vlad TV and said that 50 Cent, who she dated years before the person she had just got out of the relationship with, said that was the love of her life. Man, come on. Come on now. I mean, I wouldn't know how to feel if I was that other dude.
Marlon is trying to come from, but the word healing is a bit much and could possibly be kind of offensive in a way because
that's where it all comes from. Offense. You take offense to everything he said because what he said was true and he hit the nail on the head. First of all, you shouldn't have take it so personal. When you didn't call in on the show, another woman called in to get advice. But if you see what he's saying and you can see in your life what he's saying is it fits you and you don't want to end up like what he's saying, you might need to listen and try to understand instead of listening and trying to be. Man,
to the women who were actually on his show and he spoke those words, he spewed that venom towards, I don't think that they would think that they were healed when they left the show. They might have even had to go see a therapist.
Because they had the attitude as if, like what y'all have on this show. They didn't leave, not all women. I've seen some good women who genuinely on this show came in with some, try to get some understanding. But the women with the attitude like this, who called in, they didn't leave with healing. Yeah, that's true, because they left without trying to understand. They left trying to validate themselves, and they didn't get that validation. And so that's why they may be traumatized, and they may seek therapy because of that. That's not Kevin Samuel's fault. They asked him his true opinion. He gave it to them. And why ain't y'all listening to what men saying? She sat here and said that it's been so many men. She's surprised that it's so many men that's mourning his death, and so many men that agreed to what he said. Ain't no light bulb went off yet? Nah, because you want to validate yourself, and that's what those women did who called in, who left with that attitude like that.
Purpose after talking to him.
Yeah.
So, I don't agree with the basis, a lot of the stuff he said,
speaking
but
some
I do
real
understand
shit.
what he was maybe trying to do. But rest in peace overall.
If you understand what he was trying to do, then that's just what there would be. You would understand what he was trying to do, and you wouldn't have so much criticism towards him. You would listen at the message and not the messenger. But who am I?
I'm going to say this, and people can be mad at me if they want to. I think just because someone passes on, it doesn't mean we just, now we can't say anything negative. Ooh.
Hell no, you true. That's true. But black people, black women, what was this aggression when George Zimmerman got found innocent or whatever, walked free, not guilty? What was this, what was all of this when anytime somebody black got slain at the hands of the police unjustly? What was that energy at? We ain't got none of those podcasts out here talking like none of that. Y'all ain't going public saying how bad that shit is, though. Y'all want to sit here and down a black man for telling y'all black women you need to be reasonable and realize where you stand. If you want to advance, then this is what you would have to do to advance to the next stage. But this is where you stand. Listen, man.
Are honest about you.
That's
okay, you died. Guess what? Every single person in all these squares and everybody watching is gonna die. So we can't be held accountable for the things that we said while we were alive. Listen, I think he has some very valid points. I think people are very unrealistic about.
They keep on coming back to some very valid points that he said, but then they also go back to they didn't like his delivery, they didn't like his tone. Now I'm gonna play this video next with Ice Cube, and we're gonna listen to his tone and his delivery and what Kevin Samuels had to say about Vivica. And this is why Vivica don't like Kevin, and the whole panel don't like him, because he was talking about women like them. But anyway, we're gonna watch how they handled Ice Cube and with his tone.
Relationships. I think a lot of women and a lot of men are. It's not a woman thing and it's not a man thing. But he just so happened to pop when he started coming for black women, because he did start off being negative towards black men, and people.
Negative? Nah, you can't bring us in over here on with it with you. You can't do that to us. Men been told since birth, no, you ugly. Yada, 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 this, that, and the third. Not just saying you ugly, but somebody have been told that. And you know what I'm saying? We've been treated roughly our whole life, so that way when we grow up and go into the real world, we not sissified. You understand what I'm saying? So when Kevin Samuel was critiquing, not being negative towards black men, we understood that this was just critiquing. But black women, on the other hand, they don't see it the same way. They got a crowd wolf, and then he's Trump all of a sudden. Now he's a Bin Laden or some shit. Man, quit it.
Really trying to hear that. Brothers weren't trying to hear about themselves, but what they were trying to hear about was how it's the women's fault.
Interesting.
So then he blew up. And then our dumbasses went and supported him.
They wanted to hear. Listen to the language that they spew out and how they try to control and flip the narrative. She said that they wanted to hear how it was the black woman's fault, and then he blew up. No, that's not how it happened. That is not how it happened. He blew up because women started to call in on the show. And he figured out, oh, this is where I'm getting more traction from. Women just caught wind and look at, all you gotta do is look at the videos. Women called in more than men. So it wasn't men trying to hear this shit. We wanted to hear this shit, but women, y'all was trying to find the validation. The women that called in were trying to find the validation with themselves instead of actually calling in to try to get some advice to apply in their life. They wanted to call in and hear some sweet shit and how they are the best gift to God, to God's gift to the earth, and how a man should be lucky to have them. That's what they wanted to hear. That ain't what they heard though.
You know what I mean? And then he made, I heard, like up to $3 million off of his YouTube and all that from said black women. So I think
what's wrong with that?
I think there is a place for people like Kevin Samuels.
They find all kind of other shit to go after. Listen, black people have been systematically on the bottom since forever. White people have made money off of us since slavery. All right? So white people made money off of us since slavery. These people right here are still getting extorted. Man, you were on Fox. We're on YouTube. I'm on YouTube. This ain't my platform. This ain't owned by somebody black. They making money off of me. They making money off of all of us. Listen, what are you talking about? They just be finding shit. They had no positive intentions at all.
To say, listen, you're being unrealistic. You have nothing you're bringing to the table, and you want this high value man. Although Kevin Samuels himself was not a high value man. While you playing, okay? He just, he looked the part, and
you're not even playing. Yeah, you're not even
perpetrating the fall, because come to find out, he thought there was.
They're just gonna disparage the dead, huh?
This is the thing that kills me about this.
See, they couldn't wait to throw them jabs, man. I'm telling you.
This social media thing, all these people faking it for the gram, because supposedly he was, rolling the cars and this, that, and third. Heard he had an apartment, talking about how if you want to get, like a man like him, like he was some great catch. He was faking the funk for the gram, and karma caught up.
I think his legacy is unfortunate too. I think the way just hearing us all speak about him, I think this is important. I think that it is unfortunate that his legacy is that. You know what I'm saying? Like all we really have is our legacy and what we leave behind. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of messed up that this is your legacy. And I'll say this really quickly: like, had he been someone that spewed racist venom, would we be saying the same thing?
No, we wouldn't.
I think
Go ahead.
That
I don't get what she's talking about. I don't.
His tone and his narration supported the music that is out now, and that is why the female rappers can talk the way that they talk, because they are bucking up against what the men think. So we are more in your face, and here it is. I think that's.
If anybody is hypocritical, it is these women that's on this platform. She just said, let's play that back.
That is out now, and that is why the
wait a minute.
That his tone and his narration supported the music that is out now. And
whoa, stop it right there. His tone and his narration supports the music that is out now. How about y'all disparaging the dead, dissing the dead? Hypocrites, man. They want to sit here and project themselves onto other people. This is what is wrong with us. If we try to actually repair ourselves from within, then we don't have to try to be so cold on the outside to each other. Like, what is wrong with y'all? Who hurt y'all? Who hurt y'all to make y'all want to go against us so bad? Like, we ain't trying to fight with y'all. Like, they don't get it. I don't get it.
That is why the female rappers can talk the way that they talk, because they are bucking up against what the men think. So we are more in your face, and here it is. I think that that's a valid point.
So I can add this point real quick. I'm just shocked at, how many men are like coming to this guy's defense. I found that to be so surprising that, people were literally getting in debates about, oh, I thought the brother was, telling it like it is and healing people and just telling the truth. Y'all didn't like the way it came out. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
I understand men.
Really? Sometimes you may need to take a step back, remove yourself out of the situation, remove your personal experiences out of the situation, and listen at the message. And then sometimes you just need to be told like it is.
Feeling like, listen, there's tons of shows. Every show that's talk show panel is pretty much a panel of women, and we get to talk about relationships, and we get to talk about how we feel and how we've been wronged by men. I understand there's not a lot of outlets where men feel like they have that. Well, why don't y'all create one? Instead of when one comes along being negative to Black women, y'all rally.
He created it. Why can't we enjoy that? See, Black men can never do nothing right for women like this. Look at this. Look at her. These are beautiful Black women, y'all, who are unattractive. Let this shit sink in. These are some unattractive, beautiful women. Whoo, that shit is deep. But who am I?
Around him like he's your king. Like, yes, he did have some valid points, but not just about Black women.
She just told us that I understand that women talk about relationships all the time, yada, yada, yada. Men, y'all just go ahead and create y'all a platform and instead of when yada, yada come around, y'all. He created a platform. We like it. Why do you have to tell us to do something in a different way?
Everyone should come to the table with something. I'm so sick of these raggedy men that got these big ass stomachs, not working, look a hot mess, demanding a 10. I deserve a 10.
Talk about hypocrites. You talk about hypocrites. So, did or did not Kevin have females calling in, women calling in on the channel who were overweight, big bellies, demanding that they have men in the top 5%. Am I wrong? But women can say what they sick and tired of from men. But when women call in and ask him for his advice and he tell them from a man's perspective on a general level, and as you can hear, most men back him, Vivica A. Fox, then why don't you listen at it? Man, come on. Y'all are so hypocritical. We can't tell y'all what it is. It's
He's your king. Like, yes, he did have some valid points, but not just about Black women. Everyone should come to the table with something. I'm so sick of these raggedy men that got these big ass stomachs, not working, look a hot mess, demanding a 10.
Who? First of all, no man is doing that. That's cap. That's big ass cap. Ain't no big ass belly man who don't work demanding a 10. That man getting whatever he can. Stop.
I deserve a 10. And I'm gonna call my sister to the table. I'm tired of women that don't work. All you think about is your nails.
She just had to do this because she didn't want to sound like a hypocrite. She thought about it. Girl, gone.
Your hair and what bag you can get out of a man, thinking just because you have a vagina, you deserve the highest man on the totem pole. It doesn't work that way, ladies and gentlemen. So let's just be honest. Everyone needs to bring something to the table. And I wish there was a platform that, kind of addressed both of it, because I feel like it becomes a battle of the sexes. Like the men jump on it because, he's giving it to the women. No, we all need to do better. Stop bringing nothing and expecting everything, men and women. It's not a women thing, because a lot of you brothers are doing the same exact thing Kevin Samuels was.
We already know this. We wasn't crying when Kevin Samuels was criticizing us. When we were calling in, when men was calling in, I wasn't watching back then, but men on a general level ain't crying when somebody giving them some criticism, some constructive criticism at that. This is what y'all doing, women like y'all. It didn't happen until y'all called in and started making it a thing. That's what this is all about. So we can talk about what you're saying. That's a good conversation to have if you're coming from a good place, a genuine place. That's a good conversation to be had. But that ain't what we talking about. We're talking about black women who is praising over the death of Kevin Samuels and why. That's what we talking about.
Women for.
But I want to give us our props, because us here at Cocktails with the Queens are honest and transparent about when we good and when we bad.
When?
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, that's that. So let's go into this with Kevin Samuels.
Sheldon, little bootleg ass studio.
Kevin Samuels went in on Vivica A. Fox and them. And this was a whole year before his death.
If you ain't fucking with my nigga Sheldon, nigga, fuck you. Yeah.